Good evening everybody, welcome to Contest of Speed Tier 3. It's round 10, we're live from Silverstone. We hope you all have a pleasant evening and we're happy to have you joining us. My name is Dan and I'll be your commentator this evening. And as always, sat next to me in the commentary box is Matt.
Good evening Danny, good evening everybody. Yeah, it's sunny, well I say sunny, it's dry Silverstone, which makes a change, doesn't it really?
It does, doesn't it? We've got an overcast qualifying session followed by a light cloud race, so it should be pleasant viewing for everybody, pleasant driving for everyone out on track, and hopefully they'll give us a nice humdinger of a race to sink our teeth into. We will have a certain Welsh friend joining us soon. Anyone who's well versed in Cos folklore will know who that is. No, not Varamir tonight. No, Ricky will be joining us very, very shortly. He's just on his way home from work.
Lovely. I think we need to go through some housekeeping, as people that have been watching recent weeks will notice there is a larger grid we've got this week.
There is. We're only missing two drivers. That's Justin in the Renault and Grey Fox in the McLaren. They unfortunately can't make it this evening. However, we have three new drivers tonight in Tier 3. One of them we are on board with now. He's the first man on track. I don't want to try and pronounce his name, but I'm going to have to. In the Ferrari, it's Jayagins. I don't know what I'm going to end up calling him, because I'm not going to call him. I'm going to call him now.
Call him Jay, I think.
Jay will do.
There you go.
We'll call him Jay. We'll come back to Jay in a moment as we move on to our second driver in the Renault with, as Ricky puts it, the best name in Contest of Speed. That's Eat the Cookie. Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, I did mention the other best name that has featured in the COS community.
Yes, the Dirty Dolphin, who followers of Tier 3 will know did one race as a reserve driver and did not do particularly well with.
Hilton has hit the wall. Sorry, Danny.
I just spotted that as well. Is it Dan Hilton or is it Millsies? It was a Toro.
It's a Haas.
There was Jacob's gone off as well, actually, in the Toro Rosso. And he's got wing damage. So I wonder if those two came together.
No, Dan Hilton's over at Cops. Now going through Beckett's.
Yeah, Jacob went off to Maggots, I think. I wonder. We'll jump back to...
We got sidetracked, didn't we?
We did. We'll jump back to the first of the three new boys. He's heading down the old pit straight towards Cops. Runs wide on the exit. That'll probably invalidate the lap time. But we'll jump back to him in just a second as we go to the third new driver in the Sauber. Hopefully he'll get some good points for us. That's Dark Mark. So that's the housekeeping out of the way. Actually, no, one more notice. We'll jump back to first man on track. That's Jay. Notice Contest of Speed will be taking a mid-season break whilst the new F1 game is released and any bugs are fixed in the meantime. So the final race on F1 2018, which is the game we're playing now, will be on... Whoa, Jay goes well wide, I think. Either that or he's lagging a little bit. It looks like a connection issue, to be honest. Yeah, that'll be interesting when it comes to the race. Let's jump down to championship leader Perry, currently on track. So Contest of Speed will take a break. The last race will be Singapore on the I believe it's the 24th, the 25th and the 26th of June. And then we will have a 4-week break from that point and return with F1 2019.
I just realised how long I've got between my next race and my last. You understand this?
Yeah.
Between races for me, it's 8 weeks.
Oh
no!
Yeah, so we'll have the 4-week break, and then we'll be back on, I think, the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of July at Sochi. But that will be on the new game, and that is F1 2019 permitting. If the game is ready before that, we'll jump back sooner. If it's not ready at that point, we'll extend the break. The championship will continue from where it left off. No one's points will be altered, no one's points will be deleted. Everyone will be able to pick up where they left off, and we will just carry on as normal with the updated game. So that is all our housekeeping out of the way. There might be a couple more bits and pieces, but I'm sure Ricky can sort that when he gets here. Perry's coming into the pits. A lot of the guys doing an installation lap and then coming back in.
A lot of guys using. I've seen a few guys on the hard tyre. Ugh. I would not be going anywhere near those things if I had to.
No, neither would I. But except every time I've done it, I did. Yeah, I got wing damage on lap 3. Had to stop, and then did. No, actually, it was lap 1. I got wing damage, and then did 26 laps on the hard tyre.
Are they as bad as what people fear they are?
It wasn't too bad. I managed to. Well, I still got points. Although I don't think if I did that this year that would work.
No.
No. Strategy for this afternoon is a very simple one-stop, soft to medium. There is potential for the reverse to work, medium to soft, but there's no way a two-stop's going to be quick enough.
It's going to be boring.
It is in terms of strategy.
Sorry, boring strategy-wise. It's never boring watching TV.
No, it isn't. There is a potential under and overcut if someone has particularly good pace at a certain point in the race. However, I don't think we'll see many variations given that the weather is as it is. Silverstone's probably one of the only tracks where you want a mixed condition race because it'll throw people out with strategy. So unfortunately we haven't got that, but you never know. Tier 2 or Tier 1 might have it later down the line.
It's fairly close, I was going to say, in terms of first run.
It is. Ross is leading at the moment. He's in pole position, 27.0. Thomas second, as you can all see there, 2/10 behind. On pole, our Dab Clan, P3. And then a bit of a gap there to Raid and to Cygate. And then Millsies and Jacob. Jacob, I think, was on the harder tyre. I should probably have a look at that. Yeah, Jacob was on the hard tyre when he set that lap time. So I'd expect that to come down quickly.
I'm just on board with Racer. Racer second in the championship, 15 points behind Perry. He's just started his
first lap. Runs wide at turn 1. I don't know if that'll have invalidated or not.
You'll get away with it. Now down the Wellington Straight, our second DRS zone this evening. Silverstone into Brooklands.
Silverstone, one of the few circuits with 3 DRS zones.
Out through Luffield and Woodcote. Very tidy at the moment. This is the one that's going to catch people out. Validation through Cops.
Oh, that's got him.
Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be the ones.
Yeah, he's backed out of the lap.
Stripes again.
I jumped on board for that as well, so he got the line he took. That's not how you do it, folks. He'll be kicking himself inside that helmet.
That's right, Jason Dracer is behind him on track and he's on a lap as he comes down the Hanger Straight.
He is Mr. Consistent. If you want to put a bet on, put Dracer for P5.
We shall ask our...
Yes, we'll ask Ricky. When Ricky gets here, we'll ask him. Although, to be fair, I'm saying put a bet on him for P5. I don't know how the new guys are going to do. They could be quicker than him.
I raced with a lot last night with Mark. Mark has shown decent pace.
Yeah, and he is friends with Perry as well, I understand, so...
He's definitely got his stronger tracks. He's also got weaker ones like everyone else has, but... He'll be there or thereabouts. Probably near the top 5, would be my guess.
Interesting thing to note, Dabclan is currently in P3, but he's on the medium tyre, so I would expect his time to come down. And given the delta between the two compounds, I would say he's net pole position at the moment.
Well, it will come down, and he won't be staying on those because he's done 3 laps on those already. And he's going again.
I don't understand why he does this though, because he did it last time out, and
but that was more understandable. That was on wet. Everyone was on wet, weren't they?
They were, but if that rule had stood and he'd started on those, it would have ruined him. And I know he watched the stream. I know he watches the stream, and I know he's listening now. So he's putting himself at a bit of a risk having that many laps on the tyre.
Who is under the cosh with 7 minutes to go? So we've got Perry, Dan Hilton, Millsy, Sergey, Racer, and Vish. So some big names that still haven't set their laps on.
They have Sergey, I think. Sergey, Perry and Racer are the big ones out of that. And as we say that, Racer gets in a time, 27.1, puts him into second place.
Jay's having problems.
Jay's having connection issues.
On debut as well.
Yeah, well, he's got a time in at least, so... Uh-oh.
Oh,
there's a name that would strike fear into the hearts of men. He'll appear in a minute. You'll see a little black box appear at this corner of the screen because I didn't turn off my notifications before I started, like a noob.
Oh, Dan Hilton's just about sort of saved it. It was hard to tell.
Where's that?
On the exit cops.
Oh, on the exit of cops. Did he clip the curb and lose the back end?
He lost the back end, but he managed to save it from not spearing into the barrier, so he's done well, to be fair.
So let's move on.
Just speaking, because of pretty much everybody's here tonight. Everybody that currently races in Tier 3, other than we've got obviously the debutants this evening, everyone has scored points.
Have they?
And in fact, everyone has scored 4 or more points.
That is a good stat.
I have my uses. I know.
You do. See, you're not just a George Russell lookalike.
No.
Perry coming in again. He's not finding his groove tonight. It's twice he's been on a lap and come into the pits.
Can he pushing?
He's going to be able to get... Yeah, he's only going to be able to get one more run because Lewis is in front of him, getting the wheel back into the garage now. Nothing either of them can do about that. Who else do we...
It reminds me of Fernando Lewis Hamilton Hungary incident.
Still on board with Vish. Set himself a time. It's 1:27.4. Puts in P8 just behind his teammate. About 3 thousandths per second behind his teammate.
Top 9 separated by half a second.
Ricky's here.
Yes.
Here he is.
It's not the weekend. How are we, guys?
Not so bad, thank you.
For 15 minutes. Ricky arrives, that's it, done.
Yeah, it's gone.
Well, blown out.
First things first, let's hope the Mercedes crash.
We've tried to keep it impartial. Well...
No, I'm only joking. Looking forward to this one. New guys doing alright?
They are so far. Jay's had a couple of connection issues, but I think he's back in and alright now. Mark and Eat the Cookie have both set times. So, just more can be said for Perry, who's still in the pits. Oh no, he's coming out now.
He hasn't got qualifying ban.
No, I don't particularly want to call who's going to get pole here because there's, as we said, 5 tenths between first and ninth.
Well, Ross has just improved to a 26.7. Sergey is up to 4. You know. Yeah, he's looking quick around here. Sergey is in 4th at the moment on the medium tyre, and I think he wants to stay there. Jacob goes though, it's 26.6. That's a real good lap time.
He's the guy on the move in the championship.
He is. He had a rough start. and then ever since, well, Baku I think was the last one he had a poor result at. Ever since then he's been up there challenging for victories, and been getting a lot of podiums as well, so he's definitely going to be closing up to the Red Bull boys.
He is indeed. He's on 117 points, Racer's on 121 and Perry's on 136, so that gap between the Red Bulls and the rest of the field has been coming down in the last few weeks. I'm sure our stats man Dominique will have something on that.
Dominic's not in the chat tonight actually.
What?
He's not here.
This is unheard of.
I know. See, I think this is the first stream he's missed if he doesn't appear for in over a season of races.
Yeah, Dan, Jay Higgins has asked for an invite, but as I said, he's just come in, so...
Yeah, we'll say none of us can do it because we're all spectating, so... I'd have to come from one of the guys down on the grid.
Yeah.
But we're going to go and watch Perry as he comes around. He's going to have this attempt and then one more. So let's hope he's got enough fuel on board for a contingency lap.
I think if I was Perry, I would have used this lap as just get used to the track, see where the grip is, and then just have one flying lap at the end.
Well, he's had 2 attempts at a flyer already, and well, we assume invalidated. He locks up there, gets a late apex, but it shouldn't have cost him too much time.
That's a yellow flag for Cygate for a little off.
It doesn't look the neatest of laps right here.
It's just about getting the job done, I think, at this point for him. He can go straight again afterwards if he's got enough battery and fuel.
I think if he's anywhere near Racer, I think he'll be satisfied with that. He can make moves. You can overtake around this track.
Yeah, and DRS effect is massive
that
here.
looks like an invalidation. He's backed off massively, yeah, so he's invalidated that one.
He needs to get out of the way of the Sauber behind him, but he's going to have... Dracer's retired. That'll be in the pit lane.
I've got a question. With a balanced tyre, you get 3 lots of softs. So I'm just wondering why he hasn't chosen to go out earlier.
He has. He's been out twice on 2 separate sets and just invalidated both times.
Oh, right, okay.
Jay really having connection issues.
Yeah.
There's a name I want to throw out. He's currently in 6th place, and he doesn't really get that sort of gone a bit unnoticed.
It has. That is a good time from Raid.
Yeah, and he's going to have one more flying lap.
There's a Haas in the wall. Dan Hilton.
Yeah.
And he's retired on track.
On the track. This is the best corner on the track. Raikkonen straight into Hamilton. Love it.
Yeah, Dan Hilton has retired on track. That'll be a penalty coming his way.
Don't want to talk about that moment, Ricky.
What's that, mate?
Didn't want to talk about that moment, thank you very much.
To be honest with you, mate, I can't repeat what I said in the stand, but I got some looks.
Were you wearing red at the time, Ricky? I hope you were.
I was extremely red.
Excellent. Is that just because you'd ventured out into sunlight, or were you wearing it?
Oh, it was both. But yes, it was brilliant to watch.
So you got the best one to watch. I had to watch and feel excruciating pain a few weeks later.
Your comment when I obviously went to the Grand Prix came back and bit you on the arse, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I may have gloated somewhat when Matt went to Silverstone last year, and that happened, and of course Ferrari won. And I went to Monza later in the year, and of course we all know what happened there. And needless to say, there was a retaliatory comment as Perry comes across the line and goes fastest by 4/10, showing why he's the reigning champion of Tier 3. When he needs to pull a lap out, he goes and nails it. Great job.
I mean, it's not even close. It's like, nearly half a second. It's a mountain time.
That's P4, I think.
It was P4
from P6 is now into 11th, which isn't that bad a position. You can get a new set of softs.
Yeah, he made a mistake, I think, in sector 3 because he was 2 temps up on his actual lap time.
Maybe he must have invalidated then somewhere. But as you can see on screen, there is your starting lineup for the British Grand Prix. We've got Perry in first with a time of 1:26.208. Brilliant pole time, nearly 4/10 ahead of Jacob in second place. Sergey in third. Bois Paul or Dabclan in fourth. Ross in fifth. Watch out for him in this race. He's got a bit between his teeth. Eat the Cookie in 6th, Thomas 7th, Vish 8th, Cygate 9th, Racer in 10th. Those guys will be starting all on the soft tyre. Then the following runners outside the top 10, let me pause the stream to get that back. Raid in P11, Dracer in 12th, Dark Mark in 13th, Millsies in 14th, and I missed the last three. From the ones I can remember not reading out, it will be Westboy, Jay, and Dan Hilton and Millsies. I know Millsy was 14th. Those guys will have free choice of tyre, and will be able.
No one decides.
I hope no one chooses the medium tyre, because that would just be a dreadful decision.
Yeah, unless they know they've got pace on it, then there's. And even then, you need a massive amount of pace. Was it Jay or Raid who pressed X first? Jay.
Oh.
It was Jay on his debut.
Hello, the new boy.
Someone's not read the rules properly.
I said to him before, did you read the rules? Yes, Ricky, I did.
One penalty point.
Yeah, coming your way, mate. Coming your way, and I'm eager to write it.
So, let's have a look. Has anybody gone for the unorthodox option on the tyres? They have Dark Mark, Westboy, and Dan Hilton starting on the mediums.
Oh, dearie God. Well, substitute.
So I always hate this at the start of formation laps where it forces you to be on board with the driver. Let me change the camera.
There's a few surprising
there we go.
people quite low down in quality. Racer in 10th. Obviously, he's like, is he second in the championship?
He is at the moment, yeah.
So he's P10, so he's got a lot of width, and you've got Jeff Sebastian, who we know likes P5. So yeah, he's gonna have to really make up some positions quite early on. And Jay, this
connection issue's not going to be good. And he'll need to sort that out in time for next week.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame really, because last night there was no issues whatsoever.
No, there wasn't. No. It is. Of course, we wouldn't have let him race tonight if we thought there was any sort of problem.
Yeah.
Just to
I'm going to
help
stay on board
everybody else.
with the new lad in the Sauber, Mark, just to see how he does. He is on the medium tyre.
Trying something different. I suppose you can on your debut. No one's expecting you to work miracles.
Exactly.
And you never know, if there's a safety car, it might help him.
Who's going to win it?
It's going to be one of the front three, assuming they don't hurt each other at some point.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dan. I'm going to go for Sergey. I think he's going to. He can easily save his ERS down the front two and just bide his time.
Yeah, he can.
I'm going to go Jacob.
You're going Jacob. I'm going to go for Perry, but I'm going to give a shout out to Ross and say to keep an eye on him in P5. He's going for it tonight, so I think it could be one to watch for as we get through this race.
Let's just keep it clean, lads. Let's get through to lap 2 and the race starts then.
Certainly does, especially turn 1. But here we go. 3, 4, 5 lights. They're going to go out, but we're waiting. We've got a jump start at the back. Although that'll be Jay, who's not returned to the lobby yet, so he can go. And there we go. Finally, the cars are away. Great start from Sergey, looking to go through the middle of the two leaders. Perry gets pushed wide. And I don't know where Sergey's gone. He's dropped down to P6. Off the line there. Dabclan pushing Perry wide. That could be towards Jacob's advantage, but 3 wide. Going down towards the Wellington straight. But look at Ross. Look at Ross on the inside. Dabclan's gone. He's round.
Oh my goodness!
And Dabclan's retired. Someone's hit him. Sergey must have hit him. Severe collision for Sergey.
He's off at Brooklands.
Just going to say, Racer has had an unbelievable start up to P, battling P5 with Thomas, avoided all the carnage.
He is the big winners. Jay obviously out in P1, up 15 places. That's because he's not here, and his car effectively jumped the start. A lot of people going wide at cops. But what did I say to keep an eye out for?
Racer is up to P5. Thomas is all over him like a fat man on a muffin. And I'm getting runs.
No, see, this is why we love you in commentary. Ross as well. I told you to keep an eye out for him. He's up into P2 and he's chasing down Jacob now.
Sergey's falling. Oh, he's...
Sergey must have damage. He must have, because he was the one. Yeah, he hit Dabclan.
Yeah.
Can you check Lewis's front right?
Lewis's front right is all good from what I can see.
Yeah, he did have contact with Sergey in turn.
Excuse me. Yeah, Sergey, I think he got his penalty for a severe collision with Dabclan or Bois Paul, so that'll be what caused Dabclan to retire.
Apparently, Ricky, for once, your voice is not loud enough for people. Unheard
Really?
of. I know. Exactly.
Jesus
I know.
H. Christ.
You not being loud enough.
How is that chattering? How is that?
He was Oak here, struggle.
Cheers, James Bond.
Ross tucking in behind Jacob. We might see a move down the hangar straight, or he might sit in and wait for DRS. I know which one I'd go for.
Dan Hilton Millsy. The everlasting tier 3 battle.
Dan Hilton and Millsies. I'm going to jump to it in a second, but Ross looks like he's closing in on Jacob. This could be a move. Jacob just holds the position.
On to Racer into Stowe. Can't do it this time, but he is all over him.
Mark managed to avoid the Dan Hilton pirouette.
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys looking to make some moves. I think Ross might be the one to watch. He's going. I think he's going to go for it down.
Ross is underfueled his car in order to keep up with the front runners.
I don't think he has. I think he's genuinely just got the pace. There's no fuel icon appearing on his telemetry, so he's at least positive for now.
Might go to the clinic if you're think you're positive. I'm sorry, guys. I can't help it.
No, we know. So the big winners off the first 2 laps. It's Lewis up 6, Dracer up 6.
Good tune from the Force India boys in 7th and 8th.
Doing well. Ross is dropping back from Jacob this time around. He's still within a second, so he'll have the DRS advantage.
A lot of guys struggling through cops. That's probably mainly down to heavy fuel, right?
Thomas all over the back of Lewis. This could be it. Down the hangar straight. DRS wide open. Lewis needs to defend the inside and does.
Favour the outside, there's more grip on the outside of Stowe.
He's through before turning. Thomas up to P4.
No.
Thomas has no ERS, he's going to get absolutely swanton bombed down Wellington Straight.
Dracer and Vischer in close pursuit.
Now Ross dropping back from Jacob into the clutches of Perry.
Yeah, Jacob looks like the man on the pace at the minute.
Does, although Perry seems to be matching him right now. It's just not quite any quicker.
As well. Sorry for butting in, but Vish all of a sudden seems to have the pace of this battle, which is becoming 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th.
And that could be 8th, 9th and 10th as well, because
they're all within DRS of each other, yeah. If those guys get pulled along and there's some staunch defending from Thomas, then could see a great battle for the point scoring positions.
Sergey's come in and put on the mediums, the obvious strategy.
See, I'm not sure it is. If it was me, I'd have gone for the hards and just gone to the end.
Well, to be honest with you, I think I would have gone for a set of softs.
And just renew the strategy, put in, what, lap 11, lap 12?
Yeah, just go for a fucking safety car and...
yeah, and go from there. That's fair.
Here you go, it's the DRS Grand Prix on fourth downwards.
Thomas not enough from Lewis to get ahead of him.
Yeah, but Lewis needs to start using his ERS while he's got the advantage.
Using the worst ERS state.
Perry on Ross.
Yeah, jump into him. He's not going to go for it into turn 1, surely.
No, Ross was very, very wide on the entry.
Using all the track.
Village. He has to do it here, otherwise with them battling, it's going to give Jacob some extra advantage. And then once you have the DRS, yeah, it's quite hard to get back in it.
Well, Jacob is now a tenth clear of it. He'll get him down the Wellington if he can stay this close, but Jacob in this time is going to be pushing hard to get away.
Wouldn't fancy the dirty air around Maggots and Beckett's.
No, neither would I.
Even cops as well, you know, you can go get wide out there, get a warning, maybe get a 3-second penalty.
Well, let's see how he does.
There you go, races all
Yeah, runs way wide.
Way wide, yeah.
They're all struggling. Guys in the behind the Thomas train are all struggling through that, through Maggots and Beckett's and cops because of the dirty air.
And what it's done, it's brought in Raid and Sygate in this little battle.
Yeah.
And
Eat the cookie as well.
I think the cookie as well, he's not bad.
yeah.
But the guy I'm looking at is Westboy. He's on the hardest compound on the track at the minute. And, you know, he's only 4 seconds behind these guys.
Yeah, he's not losing that much time. He's losing.
No, he's not.
Oh, is that Dan Hilton out?
Just on this lap, it's only been 3 tenths. So
Dan Hilton's out.
And that is, I'll tell you where that is.
Where that was.
I'm on board with Jay at the moment. We'll see. I think it's going to be Maggots and Beckett's. Keeping an eye out for the stricken Haas. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, on the left.
On the left-hand side.
He's lost it at the beginning of Chapel.
Oh, Vicious lost a little bit of front wing on the back of Dracer as they come through.
Yeah, he has, and it's on the left as well. That's going to compromise him a lot.
Yeah, but let's not forget that Jesse is in a Williams, so no doubt the Force Indy will overtake him.
Dracer's struggling. He's lost 2
Yeah, nearly 2 seconds to Lewis. Although he's got nearly a full battery.
Stop, so.
2 Force India's having a battle, and Raid and Cookie as well.
Everybody runs wide.
Sygate. Yeah. Sygate has managed to get ahead of Vish.
Everybody's struggling with the dirty air.
You can see Vish's wing damage starting to affect him now. His teammate's clear of him, and he's dropping back. And now he's got the Haas of Raid.
Yeah.
Renault's coming as well.
Where he's going to go for it.
It's going to compromise. Cookie's the one to watch out for here.
Yeah, he is. Vish
has to pit. Send it. Oh, what are you doing, man? Cookie using his experience there.
Oh, back end stepped out a little bit.
Ooh. Ooh.
And back up at the front, Perry's still unable to get past Ross for 2nd place. But together, the two of them are keeping within range of Jacob. Crucially for their chances of a win tonight.
I personally prefer the overcut here, so I think it'll favour whoever stays out for the longest.
It's only a matter of time before Lewis gets past Thomas. Thomas has got very little ERS.
Hopefully, if Lewis is listening, he's into overtake. He's not going to go for it into cops, is he?
No, there's no point. He may as well save his ERS now and then just push.
Here we go. Get the better run.
Yeah, that's it. Just back off a little bit. Give yourself the room. Racer.
That's so easy to do, like.
He's lost the advantage now. He's too far behind.
I'm not so sure. Thomas is out of charge completely.
Way too far behind.
Eat the cookie. On Raycon. And
Cookie's
so,
through. On the inside. Hold his nerve.
He's going to have to give that position. He's going to have to give that position, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
he
kind of went off. He went off track to keep his momentum, and I don't think it would have been a fair position hold.
Thomas is in.
Thomas is in. That's the early stop for Thomas.
So he was what, P4?
P4. I don't think this will be enough to get him any higher in terms of his position, but it might get him at a bit of an advantage over Lewis.
Just want to say, guys, that Ross and Perry have ridiculously caught up to Jacob in the lead. So I think we might see a pit stop here.
Maybe Jacob went off too early, and he's worn through those soft tyres.
That left front looks a little bit angry, unless that's my TV screen.
Can I have a look?
Oh, Perry running a bit wide at cups.
No, I can see what you mean. You can see the graining starting to happen.
Oh,
Ross picks up 3.
He's the first
Perry's
of the
got
leaders.
a great run on Ross. Perry's got a great run, but he went on the grass slightly.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get the overtake because Ross is going to have the DRS as well. Ross might try it. Ross is going to try it the inside. Great move if he can hold it. Perry's going for the undercut.
I don't agree with this decision. He had better tyres. He looked like.
Well, he put 2 laps on them in qualifying, so.
Oh, they can't eat the cookie back at each other again.
This seems early for me.
Yeah, it's early for me. You want to be aiming for lap 10, so I would have said maybe 1 more lap for him, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, just having a friend of mine saying that he thinks with the car so bunched up that the undercut seems favourable, but I'm not too sure myself.
Let's see
We'll find out.
Let's see where Perry comes out.
I think Perry's going to actually come out.
Cookie's going for a move on Raid down the Wellington and makes it.
Nice move, Raid comes back.
In fact, I think Perry actually gained on Thomas.
Yeah, but that's the overcut, isn't it? That's Perry's going for the undercut on the leader as such, so we won't know until Jacob pits.
Lewis is out. Lewis is out.
He's lost it.
Cops. You can see him there on the right hand side. We'll see with Mark as we come through.
No, he was running well as well.
That is championship points.
Now is the time to pit for Jacob, I think. He has to cover off Perry.
Both of them are coming in, Jacob and Ross.
Okay.
One didn't stay out.
The cookie.
We're going to stay on board with these two. Can we gain any time in the pits?
They're in.
Ray pits. Westboy stays out because he is on
Mark
medium tyres. The cookie has a 5-second penalty.
Sygate did the same. It is deceptive, the pit entry here. It starts so early.
Yeah.
With the limiter.
Perry's going around now, just through Vale. Locked up his front lap.
Jacob and Ross are coming towards the pit exit now. Jacob is away.
It's Thomas,
and so is Ross.
Perry is not even through.
He's not going to make it. He might get past Ross.
Oh, he's just done Ross. He's done Ross, but nothing. I mean, like I say, he hasn't really gained any time, and his tyres are warm. I mean, they are warm. They are up to temperature. So he needs to do it now.
So split
the leaders, but what that has done is kept Ross in the fight because he was over. He lost time to Jacob in the pits.
Perry sliding somewhat around the field.
He'll be pushing hard to try and get ahead of that Toro Rosso while the tyres are cold.
I think so. I agree. This will be the corner, I think, where he can get a better run, because I can see Jacob going wide here.
He didn't go wider, but he was slower. Perry got a much tighter line, carried more speed.
Yeah. Knows he needs to come in this lap.
We'll jump on board with Perry, keeps it tight to the right hand side, gets his foot down earlier, powers through, DRS open. Simple stuff.
Fair contest.
But Ross is now dropping back and dropping back significantly. 1.7 the gap now to Jacob. He's outside of DRS range, and if he's not careful, Perry and Jacob are going to just waltz away into the distance and leave him for dead, just to trundle round and guarantee himself P3. Perry with the fastest lap. He is now in the net lead. The only guys in front, Westboy and Mark, both of them on the reverse strategy. But now, can Perry pull away from Jacob and get himself out of DRS range? That's the next thing. He's pushing hard to try and do so.
Jacob is saving the DRS, and he is in the DRS, so he's not actually losing any time but saving his DRS. And I don't know if it's me, but it looks like Jacob's having some sort of like internet connection issue.
There's a little bit when you ride on board, but as far as I'm aware, on track he doesn't have anything. I'm sure. Yeah, it's off 3 seconds. Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, on track with the other guys, there's no issue. It's just for spectators, which doesn't look great on stream, but I'd rather the race was of good quality compared to the viewing, if there had to be a choice.
I just want to say that Jacob has no penalties, and at the minute he is net P1.
He is, with Perry picking that 3 seconds up. How many warnings does he have? Can one of you check?
2. Perry.
2 warnings for Jacob, so one more,
yeah,
and it's back to an on-track battle. Ross now 2.5 seconds behind. Dropping back significantly.
To basically stay behind and not try and pick up another penalty, so he has to still be aggressive.
I'll tell you something to keep an eye out for in terms of good benefit from these penalties is Thomas in P6.
Yeah, Thomas now closing in on Ross, isn't he? Ross not liking the mediums at the moment.
Thomas hasn't got any penalties at the moment. He'll probably get one now I've said that.
He's running low on ERS, trying to close that gap. Ross with 50% more charge, give or take.
Yeah, Thomas, no problems. Good spot, Mark.
And we know penalties around here could be an issue, or could play a major factor.
Yeah, it's a track where you think you probably shouldn't get any penalties, but you try to push the limits, and you just pick up a naughty warning, and then you're like, shit.
I find it quite easy to pick up the odd.
I do. It's because there's so many high-speed corners. You have to trust the car and throw it in, and if you just get your line a millimetre out, you'll cut the corner or you'll run wide, and then that's a simple warning to pick up. But
Mark stays out.
Thomas now closing in on that DRS window that he can use to charge his battery again, but he doesn't quite have enough.
Mark stays out and he's holding up Perry.
Vish is in.
Something about this.
Vish is
and
left.
He's left.
Right, so he's clearly had enough, which is unfortunate, I guess.
It is, but
Perry gets the move done.
yeah, wing damage around this track is.
Yeah, Mark's starting to struggle on them used medium tyres.
That rear is just sliding about.
Vish's car is coming out of the pits again.
Yeah, he's ghosted though.
Yeah, which...
Is Thomas catching Ross, guys?
Yes, he is. He's actually dropped back a little bit this time around because he used up all his battery to try and do it. He's dropped back by about half a second this time around.
But it doesn't matter anyway because Ross has got 6 seconds. So in terms of that little mini battle, at the moment it's not a problem. It's whether or not these guys
within DRS up Wellington. Sorry, Hanger Straight.
Who's this? Jacob. Raycon, 3 seconds.
I've been thoroughly impressed with Jacob since he's joined the league.
I have, yeah. He's shown really good pace.
Yeah, but he seems to be able to like dictate the race. He's at front, he can battle, you know, he's good at ERS management, seems to have an all-round racecraft. Perry goes wide, compromises the exit.
I'll tell you who I've been impressed with so far tonight, and you've mentioned him already. He's currently leading, that's Westboy. He's lost, admittedly he's lost just under 2 seconds over the last 4 laps. However, considering his tyres are that much older, that's not a bad pace, and right now
I think he's come out P11.
And I don't think he would. You know, I think he's going to come out P9.
No, I'd say it's half a minute pit stop.
He's going to be... Let's have a look. He's going to be around Dracer, I think.
I mean, worst case scenario is he comes out where he stopped, or where he was before all the guys in front stopped.
And he's in. In fact, he's in now.
So
This boy is in. So let's see how long the pit stop is.
Mark's there. It's interesting.
Mark has nothing to lose though.
I think Mark's gone too long on the mediums here.
He's got nothing to lose though. He was outside of the points when when all the pit stops started. So I think he'll come in this time around, and I don't think it'll compromise him too much. He's still going to come out behind Sergey and in front of Millsy, so he might as well take the extra lap of strain off the soft tyre.
Thomas needs to get the move done as soon as.
Jacob looks really comfortable right here.
He does.
Not using any RS, Terry saving. Both have a really good amount of the RS actually. Oh, he just about keeps it in track limits.
So I'm going to keep an eye. This should be
Thomas
Jacob
Mark
Reese.
going into Maggots and Beckett.
He's not going to make the move, is he?
Please. On the inside.
He's made it stick, and when we can jump back to the leaders. Oh, Jacob's had a shocking exit onto the hanger straight. He's lost nearly a second.
No, I think Perry's using more ERS.
Yeah, he's not going to lose nearly 3/4 of a second though, is he?
True.
With DRS as well.
Yes, good point.
He must have made a mistake somewhere.
Mark's pitting. And he's got a fight over that. No. All the new guys have penalties.
Unfortunately,
I think that's a case of them not being used to the
yeah, then
being
I think so.
So Ray Cam having an excellent race up to P7.
He's doing really well. Perry needs to push now. He's got Jacob close to that limit.
Yeah, definitely right.
He's got to go for it. They've both got the ARS to do so though, and dare I say it, Jacob is probably the quicker man on track right now.
Well, I think this could be vital if Perry can get out the 1 second.
He needs to do it, but Jacob's closing in.
No, Jacob is closing in there.
And I think this will get him right back.
Oh,
he's gone again!
He's lost it.
That must be what he did last time round.
Oh, yeah, but that really lost him. That lost him a second. And that has given Perry quite a little bit of a breather.
It has. Jacob's got all the work to do again.
Jacob's back end really looks like it's struggling here.
If he's running too high a ballast.
Yeah. A few that have been like that tonight. Back end is... I can't control it.
Well, but it's already down to 1.4.
Jacob's pushing hard. Perry not so much.
Yeah, he's just stuck in it into overtake.
He knows he's got to get back in it.
But around sector 2, Jacob seems to gain time, so I think he might be running like more downforce to negotiate the corners a bit better, rather than the straight line speed.
You'd say that, but then why would the back end step out like it did? Unless it was just because he clipped the curb.
Yeah, unless he clipped the curb.
He's almost back within DRS range.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks so much more comfy on the corner end. Let's see how he takes us.
He's flying through there, and he's back within. Back within range.
Yeah, see, he lifted off through that time, so I don't think he's not confident through Beckett, but he's back within DRS.
Yeah. It's that reprieve for Perry. He's only 1 lap long.
Yeah, but I just wonder if Perry got DRS off this.
He shouldn't have done. I don't think, but you never know. I'm paying attention.
Quite possibly, because the detection point's just before Maggots and Beckett, so possibly.
You could have done then, yeah. Anybody else within range?
Cygate was, he's just dropped back a little bit. I've been keeping an eye on this one. Cygate and eat the cookie.
I think this could be how it finishes in terms of on-track positions.
Well, I was about to say doubt it, because Sergei's going to have to come into the pits, and he just has.
Yeah, so Sergei's in, that'll drop him down to P12.
I think as Torres makes a move sharpish on Ross, he's going to struggle, because his mediums are 1 or 2 laps older than everybody else around him.
They are, but he's also 6 seconds clear of Cookie, so I don't think that'll be too much of an issue.
Just something to keep out on.
Yeah, Ross also has 6 seconds worth of penalties, so he's just got to keep within that range. If I was him, I would save the tyre. Make sure it gets to the end and keep yourself within 6 seconds. And that's a good point from Blades in the chat. Perry does still have that 3-second penalty, and Jacob doesn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but he has to make the overtake because one warning is game over.
Yeah.
And you can't pull it down to keeping it squeaky clean.
Especially as those tyres get older, that warning is going to be more likely to occur.
Well, especially if he has a snaking tail to that car like he's had done so far. I just love the really shite camera angles.
Hope that's one thing they improve.
I just want to say, guys, what I think we're seeing between Perry and Jacob is a lot of what we've seen between Vettel and Leclerc this season, whereas basically the guy behind looks quicker because of the DRS.
I think Jacob is just genuinely quicker. I mean, to catch up nearly 8 tenths in 1 lap. Yeah, he was pushing hard. Yeah, he was using his ERS, but even so, 8 tenths on tyres that were probably a bit warm after the slide. I honestly wouldn't bet against him being the fastest man on track. And
let's not forget he has fresher tyre as well, so that may play come into the last 2-3 laps.
Might do.
Sorry boys, I've just seen Millsy do a 27.3 on
yeah, moving to Stoke on the outside.
mediums.
Oh, he can't make it stick.
And he's left the session.
Yeah. That must be a connection.
Lock up quite a bit there.
Perry's been locking up into that final complex. Yeah, he has. Every lap so far he's been. Oh well, since the pit stops he has been. Fastest lap at the moment is Millsy's with 27.3. Now that's so much quicker than everybody else. I have to question whether that's.
It was more the fact he's on 8 lap old mediums. I was like, well, hang on.
Yeah, I would question whether that's the AI setting that lap time or whether that's actually either him cutting a corner or something.
I don't know, but Raycon is closing on the back of Cygate. Cygate's dropped off the Eat the Cookie quite drastically the last couple of laps.
He has. Thomas is holding station as well in P4. Gap in front and behind, staying pretty similar. We'll jump to Raid.
Trying to match his what was very strong qualifying, or looked very strong qualifying.
He's pushing for P6. I've got to be honest, he's on for my driver of the day at the minute. It's a great result for him, if he can, especially if he can get ahead of Sidegate.
Guys, I want to mention Jesse Basson because he has no penalties.
Yep.
And Eat the Cookie and Sidegate both have stop-go penalties, and Raycon has a penalty and 2 warnings. So Jesse is on for a P5 potentially.
Is he? Because he's 7 seconds off Raid, who if he gets 1 warning will give him 3 seconds, that's down to 4.
Yeah, but a Cookie's got I think 8 seconds worth of penalties.
That could bring him back in.
It's not too far off.
Sergey's either on a scrub set or he's had a little bit of an off. He's had a bit of an off, to be fair.
I would say it's a scrub set.
Also had a bit of an off, but it was very dusty at the left front.
I was just going to say, the only people who've had more penalties than Ross are Man United.
How many is he on now?
Oh, Christ.
West Boy, 3 seconds.
Yeah, I just saw him pick that one up as well. That was very sloppy.
9 seconds, I think.
9 seconds for Ross. That's putting him down to P5 at the moment.
You done it? Yeah, what track? He picks up.
Cookie's got 5 seconds, haven't he?
Raid really close to the back of Sidegate now as they come up towards Cops.
Yeah.
Let's ride on board. Much better line through there than Sidegate. This could be a move down into.
So,
that's the one.
Raid. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Right, Danny, I'm here to help you.
Cheers, mate.
Right, do it now. Do it now, though. Go on.
It's gonna go around the outside.
All around.
Clips the grass. Squeezes him to the inside.
Oh my goodness! Oh, mate, what are you doing? He completely backed out of that.
Seconds. Well, in all fairness, he backed out of it. If he was still there, Sidegate would have absolutely chopped the front wing off the rock.
No, because he had the inside, he could have broke later and basically shown Sidegate the bloody door. I think that's just, yeah, I don't know if it's like lack of experience or whatnot.
Yeah, a couple of guys having connection issues tonight. Millsy's as well. That's his second rejoin.
Yeah, Millsy's had it before. Do you remember the Azerbaijan where he still stands to have a point?
Yeah.
Raycon trying it everywhere, man.
He's pushing for that P6.
Yeah, he's got more racing lines around here than Max Verstappen.
But I'd be right in saying that this would be his best result if he got the P6.
I think so. Got yellow in sector 3.
Ooh.
I don't know who that is.
No, it's nothing in sector 3.
I wonder if it's one of the ghost cars getting out of the way.
Possibly Vish.
Oh, Raid got a really poor exit onto the hangar straight. That's going to compromise him for a move this time round. Everyone in the chat, we've only got 3 laps to go. If you have anybody specific you want to interview, or you have any specific questions for a driver that we might end up interviewing, get them in the chat now. Also your votes for driver of the day, if you can get those in the chat right now, we'll have a look through and we'll decide on that come the end of the race.
Good to see the new guys look like they're both going to get, well, 2 out of the 3 are going to get some points.
And Jay, we never know what would have happened there. He's had his connection issues, so.
I mean, yeah, it's just unfortunate. And I think Perry's just going to get DRS off Milby, and he has.
That will help him.
Very fortunate.
Pushing for his on-track victory, but still, at the moment, Jacob will take the win. Still watching Raid though, as he's closed back up to Sidegate, and is a little bit wide at the exit of Cops, as we go towards Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh no!
6 seconds. 6 seconds in the space of 2 laps.
Trying too hard.
He's got the problem
Yeah,
I had
I
at
think
Kota
so.
last year.
Go around the outside.
Saget holds his line
Oh,
well,
yeah,
defends.
Yeah, switch back, go for it, man. Switch back. You can't get the traction.
See, maybe did he miss a
Saget
gear in
positioned
there?
his car.
Did Red miss a gear in there? Or double
Fourth
shift?
to sixth.
So I gave backing off around turn 1, I found that quite surprising.
Red going for the...
That's
Left
been his
front, yeah,
usual
sorry.
line.
Right
turn
there,
one.
right there, oh.
Now do it.
Go on, lad.
This
Go on,
could
mate.
be it.
He can't get the power down quick enough, and I think Sygate might just have enough of a gap here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Big stamp and send it. Go on.
No, he can't, because he's just going to cover it up.
That'll be another warning. That Jacob, 3
3
seconds.
seconds.
Now we've got a race.
Now he has to attack. He's been playing it too safe, and this is what I'm saying. He played it too safe, and now it's cost him. He's now effectively second on the track and overall.
I'm not so sure he has been playing it safe, you know, because the pair of them have got similar ERS levels.
He's just upped it. I think that's what's cost him that extra warning.
Yeah, I think he's gone
He
for the
upped it
move.
just before.
It was through Maggots and Beckett's, wasn't it? He got the move, so it'll be the right-hander.
I'm not convinced. He's been sat behind. He's been sat behind for the best part of 10 laps, and I don't think he's overtaken Perry once. So I don't think he's been going for it that much.
Oh, Sago and Raycon running outside. Stone.
Oh, there's contact there. But it seems like it's done.
Oh, Sygate.
That's a bit of front wing damage. Left hand
West Coast
side.
passes Jesse. Jesse's going for fastest lap.
He's
Oh,
a
he's got
bit
puncture. He's got left front puncher.
left front puncture. Oh, that's such a shame for him. Mr. Consistent.
Box.
He will have time to go for the fastest lap.
15 lap old mediums.
Yeah, that's surprising.
I mean, that's towards the edge of their range, so if he's particularly aggressive on them, I can see that happening. But
Quarter of a second in it. Out
Ray
front.
gets overtaken by Sygate. Oh, Ray! Ray kind of used Sygate as a bit of a breaker there, but I wonder if that'll be sent in.
Sago's got the better on. Overtake mode.
not into
engage.
cops, boys. Not into
Surely
cops.
no. Don't do it.
Guys, Jacob is in within 2 tenths now.
I'll
As we
jump
go
back
through
to
the
him in a
lap.
minute. Sygate's got him round the outside of cops to take P6 back.
Last lap. 5
Here we
times
go.
cover first and second.
We'll jump on board with the leaders for the final time.
I'll keep an eye on. Raycon's gonna go around the outside of Stowe. Oh, maybe the switchback. Sago covers it off.
I don't
And
think.
again, Perry's going to get DRS. Perry's going to get DRS off this.
This is why. See, Vish left the session. If
Oh, he didn't.
Did you not get
He
it?
didn't get the, no, he didn't get it. And he's gone wide. He's gone wide a little bit.
Okay.
He did definitely go wide. Oh, mate. Why are you only using medium ERS? You should be pushing. I don't get it.
Oh, twist and tail for battle.
Into mode 4.
Oh,
Runs
he's got a great
wide.
run. Jacob's got a great run.
He has, but he ran wide, and he's just cut the corner
He's
there
got
as
better.
well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Penalised?
No, he'll have got a warning for it though, and I think he'll have got one for cops as well. One more mistake, and that's it done.
I think he's got this covered, Perry.
He just needs to cover the inside, doesn't he? Yeah, Perry's got it. So barring some miracle,
Nah, he's too far behind.
Go on, Ray.
so we'll jump back with Perry as he comes around to take the win at Silverstone.
Yeah,
Closely followed by Jacob across the line. Ross will come across the line in P3, but will he keep it? Thomas should
I don't
jump
think
him,
so.
and does. Cookie, will he get him? Cookie has penalties of his own.
Not quite.
Not quite, you're right there. Not quite enough. for an unserved stop and goes. Cygate and Raid is the next battle across the line. Both of these guys have penalties, but who will come out on top? Cygate by quite a way. Westboy, I think, deserves a mention. Starting way down the field. Did the reverse strategy, gets himself some good points for P8. Mark as well on debut, P9. Sergey recovered from that early wing damage and should get P10 after the unfortunate puncture for Dracer, who will he get the fastest lap and deny those in the top 10?
No, is the answer.
29.5. I'll be honest, I don't think that lap for Millsies is, as much as I want to give him credit for it, I don't think that's all his own work.
I'm having shouts from the chat that Perry should be driver of the day. He made the undercut work, he overtook Jacob straight away when he had cold tyres, and then fended him off, so I think that's a fair shout.
It is. I've had shouts for Jacob as well. In there. Raid, I think, having all those penalties and not being able to get ahead of Cygate, I think has compromised his claim for it. Cookie deserves an honourable mention on his debut, getting himself P5.
Yeah, definitely solid job.
So I think we'll get our we'll get the podium in, I think, and then shall we do 2 of the 3 new boys? Shall we get Cookie and Mark in? I don't know if Jay's still about to do an interview.
Yeah, go on. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, we'll get those guys in. So, as you can see on screen, there is your final race results. Perry wins, closely followed by Jacob. Thomas 3rd, Ross 4th, Cookie 5th, Cygate 6th, Raid 7th, Westboy 8th, Mark 9th, Sergey 10th. Your point scorers. Dracer 11th, unfortunate with that puncture. Millsies 12th, Vish 13th, Jay 14th, Racer 15th, Dan Hilton 16th, and Bois on Pole or Dab Clan in 17th.
Yeah, it's a shame about that plan because I think he would have definitely have been up there.
He'd have been a cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't he, tonight? Mills is in the chat. He says, I'm not convinced about my fastest lap either, but I'll leave it to the stewards. And Ricky, if you want some championship beef for tier 2, Mitch is in the chat. He's congratulating Perry on his race win, and he's wishing me and Matt the best of luck for tomorrow night, but he hasn't included you yet.
Yeah, well,
You nearly forgot me, to be fair.
it's tough at the top, you know.
Yeah, you gotta have a championship rival.
Nah, I know Mitch loves me.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Can't hate Mitch. Right, so let's get these guys invited. So whilst I'm doing that, well, I can mute the other 2 whilst I'm doing this. So all you can hear is me. So we want Perry and Jacob, and Perry, Jacob, and then we want the new boys as well, don't we? Richie and Thomas, of course. Perry, Jacob, Thomas, Dark Mark. I don't have him as a friend. Ricky, can you suggest him, please?
Who's that, mate?
Mark.
Yeah, sure.
And then Cookie's gone offline, so we won't be able to, we won't be hearing from him.
There we go.
Thank you, Ricky. And get that back. Just change my audio to party only, or more towards the party. Sorry about that. We're back in the game, so we'll get those guys in. Ricky, I'll let you announce driver of the day.
Who got
We
it?
say Perry got it.
Well, I don't know really. There was a few I think Perry did extremely well to hold off Jacob, to be fair.
No, I agree.
Let's make sure you finish behind Dan.
That's going to be difficult, mate, this week. I'm not the quickest round here. I'm consistent, but I'm consistently slow.
Well, Cookie's still in the lobby, so I'm guessing that he is online.
Yeah. I could go back and... in fact, I will. I'll go back and then invite him quickly. There we go. We'll get him in. And then we're just waiting for Thomas and Mark to join if they want to.
Hello.
His cookie's in.
Right.
And then just make sure your audio's set to be shared for me, guys, and then we'll do some interviews.
I think it is, anyway.
Yeah, just have a check for me.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. That's Mark as well. Right, so
There's
we'll
an orgy in the party chat.
Would you be quiet? Right. Mark, if you can just check your audio set to be shared for me before we start these.
I believe it is, yeah.
Stuff. Right, let's start off with our Tier 3 debutants. Mark and Cookie. Cookie, we'll start with you. Great job on debut getting P5. Congratulations for that. How was it out there for you tonight on your first contest of speed race?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Had a disastrous start after someone spun out in front. Ended up being basically last, but it's fun working my way up through the grid.
So we were keeping a weather eye on you through that. There was a fair battle going on at the front, which took most of our attention away. But we noticed how well you've done, and of course P5 on debut is. You must be pleased with it and proud of your performance tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. It's decent. Nervous going into it, but yeah, thought I did alright.
Well, hopefully those nerves will have bled off, and next week you'll be coming back with a vengeance. We'll get you on the podium next week.
Coming for Perry.
It's good. Great stuff. Well done, now. And
If I needed more people on to have a target on my back.
Don't you worry, I'll be there soon.
the reigning champion, you're the man to go for. Mark, as well, your debut, managed to get yourself some points. How was it out there?
Not the best debut, but yeah, happy to get some points in there for Sauber.
It's good, man. You chose the right team. So, was it anything specific about your race that you think the guys in the chat could hear about, or was it just pretty bland? Just get yourself to the finish. So we noticed. Yeah. So we noticed you went on the reverse strategy, starting on the mediums. Was that just in a vain hope that there might have been a safety car and you could get yourself further up, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I just didn't have the pace today, so I thought go on medium, see what happens, and nothing happened apart from turn 3 was it? I think I overtook Cookie under the yellows and had to give the place back, and I lost a couple of places because of that. So annoying, but there we go. And also I was speeding in the pit lanes. some bits to work on, I think.
I got that as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's unlucky for you, but yeah, such is life, unfortunately. So if there's any of those that are unfair, if you send them in, then we can have a look and maybe get them removed from your race time as well. Maybe get you some places. Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair play. Well said. So yeah, well done on your performance. We hope to see you back here at some point. Hopefully with a podium finish under your belt.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Right. P2, Jacob. How was it tonight?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those. I felt like I'd never really got the Mags and Beckett's section sorted through the entire race, and I felt like I had pace. I had a pace advantage over Perry in lots of sections, but by the time I got to those corners, I just wasn't able to get the exit which I wanted to get. And I thought I'd bide my time, wait for him to get a bad exit. He only had one or two, and I got alongside him a couple of times, and he defended pretty well. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy with second place, but you know, whenever you've been leading the race, yeah, it doesn't feel so sweet getting that second place.
No, I can imagine it wouldn't. But we noticed that the back end of the car was quite squirmy through Maggots and Beckett's. Was that because of dirty air, or was there maybe a setup issue that you had, or?
I'm not sure. It did feel a bit loose, to be honest. I hadn't had much practice on this circuit this week. Gone in pretty cold, and so I did some hard running laps during qualifying just to sort of get my eye, and I was pretty happy to get second place. I was pretty sure that Sergey and maybe Dabclan would out-qualify me, so getting in the front row was pleasing. The start was pretty mental. It seemed like there was a couple of people that got better starts than I did, but I was pretty lucky to get through unscathed.
I was going to say, I think, well, the big losers were, like you mentioned there, Dabclan and Sergey. Dabclan, of course, retiring. Sergey taking wing damage off his car, which pushed him right to the back. I think he managed to get 10th in the end, but he had a pretty lonely race of it.
It's not the man that I wish was taken out.
No, that man was in front of you, I'd imagine. Yeah. So, congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks. That was fun, Jacob. It was fun.
Yeah, so, congratulations on your P2, mate. Hopefully we'll see you back next week. Maybe with a win, who knows? Maybe tonight's winner, Perry, will be back with another win. His first back-to-back wins, if it is, next week. How was it tonight?
It was a wild race. I don't know, I really didn't put together anything for this race until, I don't know, maybe like 2 hours before we started this race, so yeah, I mean, I had a banker set up and tested it, didn't like it, went on, got a different setup, and that one was, my first sector was really slow, and the rest of the track, I mean, just flowed really well with it, so that's, when I qualifying was a mess. I kept invalidating every single lap. And my last chance, I ended up, I had older softs, and yeah, I mean, I knew once I was like 400s up on the first sector that I'd get pulled because the rest of the lap just flowed so well. And then obviously the start, I just looked back actually, and we were 3 wide, 4 wide. We tried to go 4 wide, and I was in a sandwich with that plan, and Ross went to my inside, and I bounced off of him and then bounced up into that plan. That's what sent him around. I couldn't do anything. I mean, it was just a racing incident.
No, we caught it on we caught it on stream as well.
That plan and Sergey, yeah, that's just unfortunate, and it stinks because I know those guys would have had a great run. But yeah, and then once I knew Jacob and Ross and I were going to battle, and we were pretty much just, we couldn't really get by each other, so I went for the undercut, worked well. Didn't come out in front of Jacob and then passed him while his tires were still cold, and able to save enough ERS and fuel to, defend against Jacob, and that's pretty much what it was. I mean, I know that coming towards the end, actually, I had a penalty for a long time in the race, and because Lewis Racer, he wrecked out, so he was just there just telling me stuff, and anyways, he was just like, just telling me, oh, Jacob doesn't have a penalty, and the entire time I'm just like, please, just let Jacob run wide at the wrong place once, and sure enough, he did. It's like 3 or 4 laps to go, and that was pretty much it, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. Jacob and I, man, this is gonna be a better battle in Tier 3 than Hamilton Vettel or Hamilton Bottas the rest of the year. So Jacob and I, we're gonna put on a show.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it already. I'm sure everyone else is as well. But, congratulations on your victory. I'm going to hand over to our resident Welshman to award Driver of the Day to one of you.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Perry, Driver of the Day. He made the undercut work, and he got Jacob when he was at his most vulnerable and stuck it out. I mean, at the end, it was a bit fortunate that Jacob got a penalty towards the end, but, you know, the strategy worked perfect.
Yep. And you've got to ride your luck in racing.
Thanks, Ricky. The first American to win the British GP, by the way.
Oh, God.
You are. I hadn't thought about that. No, you
Sorry,
have.
guys. Sorry.
So, not only is he tonight's winner, he's a history maker. Perry, the first American to win the British Grand Prix, and driver of the day, and pole position. Actually, you've got the Grand Slam.
You didn't get the fastest lap.
I didn't
Oh
get
no,
the
not fastest lap.
yeah.
No, not quite.
I think Sergey did.
No, I don't think he did. You know, I think it was
Millsy, wasn't it?
Millsy got it, but there's dispute as to whether that was actually him driving or whether it was the AI taking over. I think the fastest car after that was Tracer with a 29.5. But he was P11, so I don't think there's any points going to a driver outside the top, inside the top 10 for it. So yeah, I think we'll wrap up there, everybody. So thank you all for joining me, Matt and Ricky, for some interviews. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And thank you all at home very much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed tonight. We certainly have. We had a great battle out at the front. If you want to see Tier 3 race again, which of course you do, we will be here next week, 10 PM UK time, same place. And we will be at Hockenheim. If, however, you want to see some more racing before then, and I know that you do, Tiers 2 and 1 will be racing tomorrow and Wednesday respectively around Silverstone, and you can catch them on this channel at 10 PM as well. So we look forward to seeing you there and next week. So once again, thank you all very much for watching. We will see you next week. Good night.